worked.
Hey, it worked.
Hey. How exciting.
Very
You guys are live.
exciting.
Oh, I hear myself for some reason.
Are you talking?
Do you have the Twitch stream on?
Maybe. Somewhere. I have so much shit open right at the moment.
Oh, it could be on the donation page, because that plays the stream.
It is on the donation page.
Did that to me a
Good
few
call.
times. I was very confused.
Right? What's going on here?
You know what's
Fix it,
going
fix
on
it,
here,
fix it.
Jeremy? A fantastic day of streaming. That's what's going
right.
on.
That's right. We just saw some adorable kitten action
Yeah.
with library cats.
Library cats. What a cast of characters we have
Right?
there. My goodness. Great players, great cats.
I was trying to figure out who's
Best.
the most cat-like of the players.
Ooh.
And-
Pretty sure it was
Galahad.
Beth. Galahad was definitely. I meant to say Deb, actually, not Beth.
I was gonna say, how did I win?
You just didn't even bother to show up, and so
That's-
you won that cat award.
That is a cat thing, right?
Well,
oh my gosh.
super excited to see that have gone so well. All the donations that are brought in, and people have already started donating for Save Game, which comes up
Yes.
in 45 minutes. Super stoked to see that as well. What's been your
That'd be very
favorite part of the day, Beth?
Oh God, I don't know. Okay, so for Library Cats, I have played with everybody that was on screen,
Yeah.
and so it was just really delightful to see a bunch of friends having a cozy, nice time.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
Watching watching people pretend to be animals is just so delightful to me.
Right.
I absolutely love it. But hey, I also really enjoyed our conversation with Mike Whitwer.
That was also a ton of fun.
That was really
Yeah.
fun. What a
I-
cool guy.
I also enjoyed getting my butt handed to me in the throwdown. That was a ton of fun. Mostly
Oh my
because
gosh.
I liked everyone's creations. I thought it was super cool. So that was
So fun. Shout out to Stacy UK, the true winner of the day.
the one who obviously would take home that trophy if we had a trophy, for example.
That
next time.
is true. Yes. I will forge one. with
There you
my
go.
Own hands.
That's I don't,
That'll be the easy part. The difficult part will be shipping it to the UK.
that is likely. I was gonna say I don't really think they call it forging, making stuff out of Play-Doh, but I think that's just like we'll
Is
call
it?
it sculpting. But you know,
Okay. What do they call it when you eat Play-Doh? Asking for a friend.
tasty, salty.
Oh, it's very salty.
Yeah, very
how,
salty.
how do we all know that? I don't know.
I've been told. The internet told me once. And you can't
Once.
put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Yeah, that is true.
That's not
You
how
just
that
said it on
works.
the
That's
internet.
not how any of that works. I'm
That's
sorry
not
that
how
I
any of that works?
I
What?
have to be the voice of reason, brain-addled that I am, 7 hours into a 12-hour stream, that I'm the voice of reason here.
Pretty sure that's how
Nico,
it works.
can we get an icon that says /sarcasm that we can like put up at any time? Because the internet is a wasteland until you use it as a tool to gather people together to donate for a fantastic cause. So
We don't
I'll
have
get,
any really
I'll
good.
get right on that.
We don't have any really good icons or emotes for that, but we'll put up. Let's just put Miko being like, face
That's a good
palming.
one.
Yeah, it's
That is a
appropriate.
good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I think it's the closest we're gonna get. I should have had you do the overlay that makes our icons bounce around or our emotes bounce around.
Oh my god.
Missed
didn't know that
that
was an option.
opportunity.
Talk about chaos, my goodness.
So speaking of chaos, kind of a fun segue there. I've been thinking a lot lately about game design. It's because, well, when I say lately, pretty much since I was like 8.
Yeah,
But
sure.
designing things for Haven and just in general, I like to. How do I want to put this without berating something that I also think is cool. I don't want to talk down about it. But for example, there are games within D&D that you can now get and play them as, you know, a person, but as your character would, you know what I mean? Like, so you can go get Three Dragon Ante, for example, and you could play it amongst your group as an actual, you know, player of the game, but you could be playing it as your character, right? And I've always loved the Taroka deck for Strahd. Have you played Ravenloft?
I have not.
All right. Well, you know what I should have done is grab my Taroka deck, which is somewhere around here, so I can show you. But you know, essentially, it's kind of like a tarot deck, and you can do readings, and like you can use it to kind of direct the game. But it's so like one point, like that's the point of the Taroka deck. Like you have a fortune teller, and they kind of help you figure out where it's at. But I really like games within games, right? Yeah. And so, as I've been designing Haven, I came up with this idea because so many people have cards of some kind, right?
Yes.
And, like, for example, I backed this storytelling, or this kind of like it's the R&D for your RPG. It's a tarot inspired card game called Dakuma. I don't know if you've seen Dakuma. It's a beautiful card deck. Maybe they're a little bit larger than normal cards, but smaller than tarot cards, and they're gorgeous. Have this really neat art.
Ooh. Oh, that's cool.
So I got this, and I started really got me thinking about games within games, and I have this thing about tarot decks. Sitting next to me, I have the Darkwood tarot deck, the D&D tarot deck, which is actually really awesome. The horror tarot deck. I feel like I need to show this one off as proof.
Oh my god.
The Garbage Pail Kids tarot deck.
Wow.
Because, you know, why not, right?
That's clearly what someone said when they made that.
Right?
Sheesh.
Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck and the Gothic tarot deck, and then we have like some spirit decks and stuff which are kind of like tarot but different. Like what would you, I mean, they're all pretty one purpose, right? You do readings with it. That's pretty much it. It's like, what would a traveling group of people that don't really want to carry board games around with them, let's say they're like a nomadic people, and it's pretty easy to carry a deck of cards around with you. So there's a species called the Shikoj, and they came up with this game called Brejne, where essentially it's a storytelling game, and we could try it.
Yeah.
In game, you would play it as your character.
Okay.
Or you could have a deck. And no two Brejne decks are really the same, because you make it, you have one made, or you make it for the point of having someone else play off your cards.
Okay.
There are people who, like, if you don't have a Brejne deck in a place and a bard comes through and is like, hey, let's play Brejne, and the inn is like, yeah, and no one has Brejne deck to play with, then, you know, they might let him use his own or her own. But essentially, you know, the crowd gets the cards and they shuffle them up, and you know, it starts off and one is drawn. So, like, for example, this card, whatever it is.
Ooh.
And then you start, like, telling a story. So let's just try it. You're the storyteller. You're the competitor here.
Okay.
In this game. What story does this start for you?
Oh boy. Okay. I think I'm feeling a traveling tale on the open seas, with a sort of mixed crew. There's a few members of nobility on the ship, but it's not, it's super fancy on this ship. That's sort of the vibe I got.
Gotcha. All right, so then we'll draw another one. Ah.
Ooh. Oh, cool.
Speaking of... Wait, is that a cup? Oh, I thought that was totally a cat on his lap.
Oh, jeez. We've got cats on the brain.
Right.
Oh, that's really cool.
So then, where does this story go from here, based off of this card?
Well, we were talking about nobility. That is the king of the land.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna have to unblur myself. Sorry.
I know. Yeah, he is taking a trip. He's got a very specific goal in mind, and he, in that moment, is sort of looking out at the sea, thinking about his next steps, if they make it to the shores of the next land that they're traveling to.
Why wouldn't they make it?
I don't know, Jeremy.
Should we find out?
Maybe the cards will tell.
Maybe the cards will tell. In response to chat, sorry, I just glanced up. Misbehave. I do love Curse Strahd's Taroko deck. It is really cool. I love the idea. In some of the novels for Curse of Strahd, it talks about the Taroko decks and how, each seer has to essentially paint their own for them to really work right, for them to be imbued with the seer's power. And so I like this idea that everyone makes their own Taroko deck that uses them. And I do like these Dakumas. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
That bottom one is the opposite. It is also a star.
Ooh.
There, see it?
Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, that's really neat. God, these cards are so pretty. I can't think of stories. I just want to look at them.
That's pretty much why I have all the cards.
Yeah. I know, right? That's the best reason. Good art. Well, that actually speaks to part of the reason why the king is traveling where he's going. There was a prophecy that sort of dictated that if he wanted to amass a wealth of power and wealth of wealth, that he needs to travel across the sea and defeat the ruler of another land. But as with prophecies, they're not always 100% straightforward. There's a lot of room for things to change in the journey to what is prophesized. So,
I like it.
Who knows what I'll come up against?
Right? You want to try another?
Yeah.
Let's do this one. Keeps trying to come out, so I feel like it wants its story told.
Okay.
It's
Ooh.
just more cups.
Just more cups. What's in the background there?
It looks like a storm.
Ooh. Well,
We're still over the sea.
we're still over the sea. Yeah. So, as they travel, they're probably about a third of the way, or 2/3 of the way there, and an enormous storm starts to creep up behind them. It's following behind, gaining on them bit by bit. They're ordered to make the boat go faster and use the winds and things that people on ships do. And the king starts to get a little bit nervous. He was very confident going into this because there's a prophecy. And so there you go, you've got your answers. But that's not how things work all the time. So the storm's coming up. He thinks perhaps he was lied to. And as the storm rolls forward, the boat struggles a bit, and I hate to say it, but the ship itself does go down. Not everyone goes down with the ship, however.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So the crowd wants to know who betrayed this king.
Who? Oh my. Okay, so she's really cool. Damn. It was her. She did it.
It
She
was her,
betrayed the king.
the lady on this card. Her name is Janet.
Yes. So Janet is another powerful ruler that has been stories have been written about her, both good and bad. And unfortunately for our king, this one might be bad. So the this is so dumb, Jeremy. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, I just like Annika's thing in the
Yeah.
Damn it, Janet.
Janet. Oh, Janet. You. Now all I'm thinking about is Janet from The Good Place. And right?
I love that show
Betrayal.
so much.
Bad Janet. Ooh.
Bad Janet.
But this Janet definitely betrayed the king. Got into got into a bit of a pickle, and now I don't know. The king's in some deep shit.
Is the king's name Brad by chance?
Yes. How did you know?
I don't know. It just seemed to fit.
This is a tale as old as time, so I think that perhaps, yeah, you must have heard it before. Brad and Janet.
Exactly. So let's see who survived. Is that a good next step of your
Yes.
tale?
Absolutely. Oh my.
What does that bring up for you?
There's 4 hammers and 3 star things?
I'm gonna have to turn it around to look at it for sure.
Yeah.
I think the top 2 are nails.
Oh.
So you have 2 nails, 2 hammers, and 3 of the star coins, maybe?
Oh, I was gonna say they look like symbols. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is your story. You do what you need.
This is my story.
Right?
Okay. So, Brad and Janet were in the band together, and no, I'm just kidding.
What was the band's name?
Damn it, Janet.
Completely fair.
Yeah. No. There was no band. But the remaining survivors from the ship are our king, fortunately, as well as a couple of artisans who were traveling along with him to sell their wares. Gosh, Annika, you're always down to clown. This is what I love about you. My goodness. So fortunately, these artisans are very proficient with tools and with improvising, and so they're able to craft a bit of a raft with some of the broken pieces of the ship, and the 2 of them, along with our king, are able to, at least for now, find themselves floating rather than sinking.
Okay. Let's go close to the top of the deck because it's been a while.
Been a while. What is that?
I believe those are wands.
I was gonna say they look like lightsabers.
Maybe they are lightsabers.
Don't sue me, Disney Corporation.
Right? These are laser swords.
Ooh. Okay, so there's still a long way to go, right? The king is feeling a bit trapped. There's not much to row with. They don't have any sails. They're really just floating on a raft. And he reaches out with his heart and says a prayer to the goddess above.
Oh, no way.
What? Huh? Intellectual property. No. Huh?
Huh?
So yes, he throws a prayer out to the goddess above, and having been a benevolent king, he is granted a bit of a boon from the gods, and is gifted with a sail made of pure moonlight that allows their little raft to be, careened forward and sent towards their ultimate destination.
Not their final destination, we hope, but we will see.
No.
As oh, go ahead.
What? No. Go.
Okay.
Go. I want to
Okay.
see what's next. Ooh. What are they all about? Okay. Oh, this is
It's
good.
them riding their horse.
Yes. On the shores of the faraway land, we find our 3 survivors, the 2 artisans and our king, sprawled out in the sand, having just barely made it. They're thirsty, they're sunburned, they are hungry, and up rides this knight, this beautiful warrior who trots up. I love horses on the beach,
It has to be in slow motion.
It
Just
seems like horses on a beach seems so like opulent, like such an extravagant kind of thing to me. I don't know. I mean, I've never ridden a horse on a beach, so I don't know what that says, but it seems ridiculous.
I always wonder whether the horse is like, what are you making me do? Why am I standing in this squishy whatever the fuck this is? Heck.
Oh no. The children.
The children.
All right, Jeremy,
My
donate $1 to the swear jar.
Right?
Swear jar benefiting Extra Life. If that were the case, oh boy, they'd get a whole lot of money from me.
Right?
Yeah, so there's a horse on the beach with a valiant rider, and they are surviving members of the shipwreck are brought with the rider, barely conscious, to what appears to be a castle, a home of some sort, very. It's not fancy, but it's very well cared for. It's very clean, and it is just up some cliffs from the beach, so it overlooks this beach and the vast sea behind our friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me another one.
I'm trying. They're slippery.
No. These are the hands of fate. Oh my. Okay. I gotta be honest, guys. I have no fucking clue how to end a story, so. To me, that looked like kind of a representation of the beauty and abundance of this land. So, not only is it lush with greenery and flowers and just beautiful trees, but there also appears to be sort of off in the distance, well beyond this royal home, seem to be fields of sunflowers in one direction and wheat in another. And as you look around, the people seem to be relatively happy. Yeah, it seems like a place that feels safe.
Okay.
the heck is happening there? What the heck is happening there? Jeremy, you know what? You add the next bit.
Oh, okay.
This is...
I'm like, is it a boat? There's somebody in a boat.
Are
with a
those
scarf?
pants?
They're whatever you want them to be. This is your story.
I mean, I see a person wearing, like, hammer pants. Like, in the perfect position to do the MC Hammer dance, even.
Stop.
Yes! That's it. That's what I'm seeing. So we're just gonna say that, glancing around this open courtyard to this wonderful home, you do hear music. Just beautiful lilting tones with very like light and jaunty percussive instruments in the back, and there is entertainment. There are dancers, but also people who appear to be performers, like gymnasts. It's very acrobatic, all of the dances and moves that are going on here. And that is what I gained from that card.
Okay.
Thanks, Hammer Pants.
Right?
Oh boy.
Now I'm kind of terrified as to what's going to come next.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. So, our king comes to, and he finds himself adorned in white. Very, like, delicate fabric that he's swathed in, and as he looks around, he sees that everyone appears to be wearing these very similar white robes or adornments, whatever you might call them, and everyone moves with a fascinating grace, and he turns and he sees at the sort of head of this open square a man who he was not here to see. He doesn't know who this is. He feels like he's arrived where he needed to arrive, but that's not who he was intending to meet. The man sits in a large chair. He seems to be larger than the average sized person, and he sits very casually and comfortably in this chair, but he doesn't seem to be lording over anybody. It's just a man sitting and observing, and he looks at our king and watches him take in the space around, and he speaks, but it doesn't come with sound that could be heard by anyone. It sort of is a speech to the mind, and he tells our king, "I didn't expect to see you so soon."
Okay. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Stacy. I think it's a fun idea. I hope you are. Yeah. Uh-oh. I see fire.
Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh.
And we
Okay.
saw rain earlier.
Yes, seen sunny days that I thought would never end. Oh boy.
Actually, we did see the sun earlier too.
Yeah, look at that. So, as this man speaks in the mind of our king, the king is sort of overwhelmed with a confusion. This isn't who he was intending to see, though he appears to know our king, and this man seems to know that he has sort of found himself in a bit of a situation, and he asks, not out loud but in his head, if this man would care to introduce himself. And in his head, the king hears, I'm not to be known by you. Not entirely. I know you very well, but you won't be here for long, so there's no need for such pleasantries. And the king's confused, and he feels himself getting angered and frustrated, and in that time, off in the distance, we see the storm approaching, but instead of rain, you see what appear to be falling embers from a cloud, and fire begins to rain down over the water, and it slicks the surface as if there was oil covering the top of the water, and the water's on fire. And the king turns back to the man in the chair, and he's nowhere to be seen.
Is the chair still there?
No.
Oh.
In fact, the square itself doesn't appear to be as it was. But we'll learn more about that with the next card.
Will we? Can Jeremy pull out another card?
Well. It's a lot of swords.
There are a lot of swords there.
Is that a good thing for our king or a bad thing?
Oh.
Hard to say. So as the fire rains down in the distance and the air becomes perfumed with this sort of acrid burning smell, the courtyard around the king seems to change, and everyone around him wearing those white robes are transformed, and their skin becomes red and dark, and horns grow from their heads, and the king falls to his knees and sort of crawls around looking at things, trying to stay below the line of the smoke that is now choking the air. And he turns and he sees a man in a chair.
I wasn't ready for that. Hang on.
I know. No, we gotta, I gotta get through these curveballs.
Uh-oh.
What the heck is that? Is that? Oh, I see what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, Jeremy, that is quite right. As the king turns, barely able to see through the smoke then sort of shifts and clears, and he's able to see a man sitting in this chair that has reappeared. And the man sitting there looks very familiar to him. He bears the same face as the man who was speaking to him in his mind before. Except for now, his skin has also become red, but so dark that it looks sort of charred, and his hair has fallen away and instead have grown enormous horns. There are 4 that sort of stick out from his head. His feet change into cloven hooves, and he sprouts wings from behind him. And the king looks forward, just incapacitated by fear, as he stares down the devil himself.
Oh.
The cards have spoken.
Holy crap. That was awesome.
Oh, wow. Twist of fate.
Right?
So, based on that card, we're going in the right direction.
Right.
The king. Oh man, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a freaked out Beth in the chat for sure. Oh my god. The king crawls forward to the feet of this demon, choking on the air, and his forearms burning on the ground, flames sort of licking his sides. He crawls, continuing forward until he reaches the hooves of this devil, and he looks up to the devil and asks, "Why?" And again, in his mind, the devil says, "Because you didn't donate to Extra Life." And
Way to
that,
bring
my
it back
friends,
around. Yeah.
is a cautionary tale. The only way to avoid being confronted by hell itself is to reach deep into your pockets
Donate deeply.
and donate to the children.
Wow.
Oh boy. Yeah, how about that?
As Annika says, well played. Well played, Beth.
Yes.
Completely not scripted, but well played. I think it was Deb. Yeah, Deb was asking about art from different decks.
Oh yeah.
And I know you were asking Stacey, but I do have to recommend. I guess it kind of depends on the vibe that you're going for, but the Darkwood Tarot is really cool. The artist Abigail Larson, I'm a big fan of her work in general. It's got a very fancy, like a kind of fairy tale fanciful feel to it. So like here's the book for it.
Oh wow. That's very cool.
And then try to not mess everything up here because I'm balancing things. And she actually has, so she also did the horror tarot. Horror, just to clear that up. Horror tarot. And I think, so there's a game based off of Edgar Allan Poe's works that she did the art for the tarot deck for that, but also for the game book. It's called Raven, and that one has some amazing art as well. She does a lot of tarot stuff. I can't
That's
get
super
this
cool.
stupid bag to open.
I'm trying to think. I know I've got 2 tarot decks. Could not tell you whose art they are because I just don't remember. But I do
Right.
have. Hold, please.
Yeah, really, Abigail is the only one that I know who the artist is. So I actually published a book of other people's works. It's a anthology of fairy tale mashups with Lovecraftian cosmic horror, and she did the Kickstarter special cover for me, and that was many years ago. And one of these days I'll get to work with her again. Like, here's the devil that we just saw in hers.
Oh, damn.
Has a very
Wow.
Beauty and the Beast feel to it. You know, I just feel like a lot of this
I
is
like that.
kind of inspired by Disney, but has her own kind of gothic, dark twists to it.
Hell yeah. I don't have any of my tarot decks up here, but I do have a deck of many things.
Oh, nice. And that's what I was like saying earlier, that these don't have to be tarot decks that you use. You can use that. I was thinking, how many D&D players also play Magic the Gathering?
Probably quite a lot, Jeremy.
The art on those could easily be used for this game. Please continue with your deck of many things.
Why don't I Why don't I pick a card for you, Jeremy? Let's see.
Well, I was thinking, because I know we're getting close to the start
Yeah.
of save game. Although I think we are missing a player over there from what I'm seeing, so they're just waiting to finish setting up to join or to go live.
Awesome.
But what we could do is do a short game with the audience if they so want to.
What?
Right.
Oh
So
my
if you are
gosh.
watching, we'll try and keep it, fairly short, the next 5 to maybe 7 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Just pull a card. Any
Okay.
card. No, not that one. Don't pull that one.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So the card that we pulled is the Comet. It's for the deck of many things. It says you must single-handedly defeat the next foes you encounter. If you do, you gain a level. And
Oh, nice.
yeah. Pretty
All
cool
right.
art.
So you've got a comet person as
Yes.
your. I set the X card for Takuma down on my coaster here. Apparently there was something sticky on my coaster.
Oh,
Now there's something
no.
freaking sticky on my card. That kills my soul.
Yeah.
All right, chat. So what do you have for us there with that? Do you want to hold
Yes.
it up again?
I would love to. So this says if you defeat the next foe that you come up against, you will gain a level.
Nice.
So
So-
that feels hopeful.
That does feel hopeful. Is that
Yeah.
deck for D&D?
It is.
Nice.
It is. It does also come with a deck of many fates. So that's kind of fun. And there are these just beautiful moths as the card art, and I love
Nice.
it. Jeremy, chat doesn't seem to be responding, so I guess
I
this is
know,
all
right?
you. What do you see?
Sorry, I'm being texted and
Oh,
I'm trying to read what
no.
Miko said. Okay, so they're all good. There'll be the bumper, so we have a few minutes.
Okay.
Let's see. So something hopeful. Okay, so there's a celestial event that is happening tonight over
Oh my.
the distant town of. God, I'm terrible with names. Orico.
Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. We just picked Ruin.
Oh. And
Oh
even
my
though these
gosh.
celestial events are important to be hopeful events, as the comet streaks across the sky, the ground begins to shake and cracks appear. People are worried about what this
Yeah.
means.
Comment from Stacy UK. Weapon made from a passing comet. Ooh.
Nice.
So that can
Nice.
be the weapon used to defeat the foe. And then Annika says he can see an extra life awaiting him.
But I'm
Okay,
only
now
with the donation. Only with the
Ooh.
donation.
we've got the Vizier. It says once within the next year, you may ask a question and receive a truthful, helpful solution.
Oh. So as the people are freaking out, this blind person walks forward and says, "Fear not, for our salvation shall come with the falling of the star." And he gestures at the comet in the sky, even though he blatantly can't see it. And sure enough, it seems like it is going to fall from the sky.
What? Well, let's figure out what that means. These are the fates. And it says, reality's fabric unravels and spins anew.
Indeed, as he gestures at this comet, which comets just go across the sky. They're not meteors, they're not meteorites, they don't fall to Earth. But it seems like it shifts course, and as it does, the rumbling continues, and it looks like something's clawing its way out of the ground.
Oh dear. Oh god. I don't even know what that says. We have a knight. And it says,
It's like these were chosen on purpose.
I know. Gain the service of a 4th level fighter. Something comes from the ground and then
But
the
as
night?
the comet slams into the ground, heeding the blind man's words, a young man in kind of worn down armor rushes off into the field where the comet crashed.
I pulled flame.
Oh, the town begins to burn as flame begins to lick up the sides of the buildings. The people are freaking out, running around, screaming.
Jester.
Totally thought that was like a weird armadillo or something.
Yes. It is. Joke's on you.
Wow, Jester, you threw me on that one. See, this is where I would have to roll a performance check to stay in the game.
Yes.
And probably fail. As the creature rises from the ground, it's some kind of strange demon with little jingly bells on its horns, and it says, "What kind of fur do you get from a skunk?"
What kind?
As far as possible. And everyone takes psychic damage from the terrible punny dad joke.
The throne.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it looks like it's going to come down to a battle. So between this jester demon and the knight who has returned with what looks like some kind of sword. It's like a shard of this comet.
Ooh.
And the last card is
The moon.
oh, nice. So the moon peeks out from behind clouds, and the glare of it makes the demon kind of look off to the side, blinding it. It raises its hand to stop the beam from hitting its eyes, and as it does so, the knight rushes forward and runs it through with the comet sword, thus ending the invasion of the dad joke telling.
Oh my.
If
the time
we
is
weren't out of
ended.
time, we could have totally just
could have.
built on all of this. But so
We
there's
could
some
have.
people that are waiting, I guess,
What?
to play another game, save game, in fact, which you can donate to. Give them
Yes.
some awesome benefits tonight. Why don't we throw that up?
Benefits. We've got boons, but there are also banes.
There
So
are.
if you're feeling a little devilish, you can go ahead and send in some banes, and we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this game. It looks like it's going to be a blast.
Speaking of excited, thank you for what's the word? Thanks for playing this game that we just played.
Thank
I hope you had fun, and I hope the viewers had some fun while we were messing around.
Yes, absolutely. Good fun. Not quite as much fun, I assume, as save game. But
I feel hurt, but okay.
well, no, just there was death and destruction. There were flames and devils.
That's fair in both sides, like in both tales. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're gonna hand it off to maybe a short bumper while they get all ready, and then you should be prepared to save game with Kevin and crew.